Okay, for this section, we're going to be doing JavaScript. In the last section, we covered HTML and CSS, which is like the trio of front-end web development, is the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And JavaScript is really important, especially for what we're going to be doing later on with the backend stuff. We're basically going to be working entirely with JavaScript. Also, instead of working in Atom, we're going to be working in a different environment, because in Atom, or I should say, instead of working with web files, like actual HTML files, I'm going to be working in a REPL. What that means is just like a JavaScript, like a console where you could just type in code and it just executes instantly. Because when you're writing for a website, when you're writing your JavaScript in your HTML, you would have to write your JavaScript and then go to your web page and then reload your web page and inspect it and see your results in your browser. What we're going to be doing in this section is going to be a lot quicker than that. So what you want to do is, I have it bookmarked here, but you just want to go to repl.it. If you just go to repl.it, and it should look a bit like this. I don't think you'll have to create a new account. And then you want to go to new REPL, and there is Node, which is what we're going to be using. And there's a bunch of environments here that you could use. There's HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We're not going to be doing that. And down here there's a JavaScript one too. So you can go to JavaScript, but if you go to create REPL, you could see it's still Node, because Node is what is this? Because Node is basically just a JavaScript. It's basically what Google Chrome uses to execute your JavaScript. It's the V8 engine. Anyway, so once you're here, you could basically just write any JavaScript code you want right here, and then you can click run, and it will show you your results of your JavaScript over here on the right side. So if we just click run, it's just going to return undefined, which is normal. That's what you expect. So before I end this video, I just want to show you one thing before we really start doing JavaScript, is the console.log function. We're going to be using this basically if you use JavaScript a lot, you'll use this all the time for debugging. So it's a really important thing to know. So you just inside the log, you just put whatever you want to be logged. So you can put two quotes, and inside the quotes you could put text, whatever you want. So we're just going to say JavaScript, and then you click run, and it will put JavaScript there. And if you put just a number like this and click run, it'll log the number. And if you try putting some letters in there, that's not going to work, because these letters are only valid when they're in a string. So up here we could put letters. Whoops, I should have to comment this. We could put letters here because they're inside the quotation marks, which basically is a string in Java. It's just a type, is what you would call it. Even though JavaScript doesn't really have types, it still has somewhat of types. So there's numbers, there's strings, and there's booleans, and that's what we're going to cover more in depth in the next video. So for this video, the only real takeaway is this environment here that we're working in, and also the console.log. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video.